Kalala Malak Yahweh Wa Yahushai Bahashem Raha Kwadash, and double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel, blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing this word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel Barakatah. Today's lesson, Rome 2.0, is about to fall. And now, when it comes to the newly revived extension of the Roman Empire, that's America. That is America, aka Babylon the Great in these times. That's the fourth beast that is spoken of in the chapter of Daniel chapter 7. And when it comes to Isaiah the son of Amos, he saw that burden upon modern day Babylon the Great. He saw the burden of Babylon. With that being said, let's go over to the scripture of Isaiah 13:1. Here we have that scripture of Isaiah 13:1, which says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. And the burden refers to Babylon's destruction. Now, when it comes to Isaiah the prophet, he did not understand this vision at the time. Isaiah, he thought that the vision he saw pertained to ancient Babylon, but in reality, the vision that he saw pertained to modern day Babylon the Great, which is America. The word Babylon or Babel means confusion. America is that land of confusion, because you have different languages, cultures, and religions mixed in. And when it comes to America, it's a land of many different customs, languages, cultures, and religions. The land of confusion. America is that land of confusion. It goes back to the building of the Tower of Babel. And it's not referring to ancient Babylon, which is Iraq today. But it does speak of modern day Babylon, which is America today. Back they thought that it was talking about ancient Babylon, but we know that it's referring to America in these times, which is the new Babylon and that virgin daughter of Babylon. You see? Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 2, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. And the true men of the Lord are at the gates of the nobles, but they have not introduced them to the world. Remember that Edom conceals the truth, especially when it comes to biblical truth. They conceal the fact that they're Edom. They took the identity of all the other cultures, but of their own. The so-called white race is Edom. The banner represents these biblical scriptures according to the scripture of Psalms 60 and verse 4. And we are to exalt the truth in honesty and in sincerity. Now, a banner is also known as a standard or a flag, which represents a country or a faction. And when it comes to the Holy Bible, we are to display the banner of truth and not hide it under a napkin, as the elders say. The banner of truth speaks of the Holy Scriptures, and it has to be displayed upon the gates of the nobles, you see. The high mountain upon the scripture of Isaiah 13 and 2, that pertains to governments. That's why you have something called the G20 summit meeting, etc. And what's a summit? A summit is defined as the highest point of a hill or mountain. And America is that high mountain. You see? Upon the high mountain, America is that high mountain of the elites of society. There are small governments and there are high governments such as America, China, and Russia. But when it comes to this high mountain of Isaiah 13 and 2, it represents America because it's known as the top government. You see, that's the top government. exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand. That goes into disapproval because they are doing the wrong thing or going off. And we are to exalt the truth of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's banner, which is the word of truth. The gates of the nobles represents the leaders of this new and current Babylonian system that bring forth those policies and laws, those wicked policies and laws. Remember that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Because there's nothing righteous about Babylon the Great. That title belongs to the Israelites when they shall take hold of the kingdom. The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 3, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The sanctified ones are the prophets, and the mighty ones are the angels. And the eyes of the Lord are upon that sinful kingdom of Babylon the Great. The eyes of the Lord are the angels. Isaiah 13 and 4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. That's right. The Lord of armies, hosts meaning armies. The noise of a multitude in the mountains first begins with the troops out there in the Middle East, that Fertile Crescent or Levant. The Fertile Crescent is a historical region in the Middle East that includes the Levant, Mesopotamia, and ancient Egypt. The army shall be gathered together in the Middle East to bring out the noise of war. Every battle that has been fought has been with much confused noise. That's found upon the scripture of Isaiah 9 and 5. And when soldiers gather together, there's bound to be much noise when it comes to combat readiness. But it is the Lord of hosts, meaning armies, that mustereth the hosts of the battle. Hosts meaning armies. The Lord is in control of everything. When it comes to the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, He's the one that's controlling the wars, because He Himself is a man of war, according to the scripture of Exodus 15 and 3. And from the Lord's aerial view, the earth is His chessboard, and the armies of the nations are the chess pieces. The Lord controls the wars. And when that third world war comes, that war will be fought on a whole different level. A vast amount of missiles shall take flight to strike their strategic targets. That's how it shall be. And you're talking about 200 million missiles. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and the weapons of His indignation, to destroy the whole land. The weapons of the Lord's indignation, or of His righteous anger, are the missiles of utter destruction. Remember that ancient Babylon was not taken out by missiles to destroy the whole land. That represents modern day Babylon the Great, which is America. It's not talking about the whole entire earth. And the islands will eventually shake back and forth, but they are not going to be destroyed. Destruction is for modern day Babylon the Great and for the land that the small hats now inhabit. Babylon shall never rebuild, but the land that the small hats now inhabit shall rebuild to welcome in the true Israelites. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 6. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. The Lord, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai, controls everything, and his overall purpose is to destroy modern-day Babylon the Great from coast to coast. And it shall be destroyed completely by means of nuclear fire. It shall be left desolate and without inhabitants, according to the scripture of Jeremiah 51 and 29. It shall be destroyed from off the face of the earth, to never rise again, and it shall become the forbidden zone. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 7. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. Right, meaning that the people shall be afraid. Here we have Isaiah 13 and 8. And they shall be afraid, you see? And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames, right? They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth, meaning that the people on that day shall be as women with heavy labor pains, right? Because extreme pain shall take hold of them. Utter destruction cometh to Babylon the Great. Nuclear explosions create radiation, heat, and blast effects that will result in many quick fatalities. Babylon the Great shall become desolate and without inhabitants, once that besom of destruction sweeps throughout the lands of Babylon to cleanse it. It shall become the forbidden zone. It shall never be inhabited ever again. It shall be left as an example on how not to live. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Two lands shall be utterly destroyed. One land shall become desolate forever, and the other shall rebuild to welcome in the true Israelites of the Lord, Yahweh wa Yahushai. Destruction is for modern-day Babylon the Great, and for the land that the small hats now inhabit. Babylon shall never rebuild, but the land that the small hats now inhabit shall rebuild. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. Right, from the effects of all those nuclear detonations. The smoke and soot would literally block out the light from the moon and the sun. Remember that the scripture speaks of 200 million missiles capable of carrying multiple warheads in that one missile alone. Babylon the Great shall be leveled from coast to coast. And remember that the Russians also have a torpedo that causes coasts to literally sink. Remember that the Russians also have something called the 100 megaton nuclear monster, as you can see here. A killer torpedo called the Status 6 Poseidon torpedo, which has excited many fears upon people. And it is armed with a massive 100 megaton warhead, powerful enough to generate a giant tidal wave to destroy coastal cities. But it could also sink those coasts. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Right, Esau, Edom. In other words, the Lord will punish the world for all their wickedness. Mainly Esau, Edom. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Right, and the scripture talks about the men of the Lord being made more precious than fine gold. And in that day, many women will be flocking unto the Lord's elect. Just as the scripture of Isaiah 4 and 1 states, 7 women to 1 man ratio. You see? But when it's all said and done, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever. And when it comes to Esau, Edom, Esau is the end of the world. Here we have that scripture of 2 Esdras 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Esau represents the true wicked of the earth. Esau, Edom. And Jacob represents the righteous that is next in line to rule. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Tainos, and Native American Indians. You are the true 12 tribes of Israel, and next in line to rule. But this scripture of 2 Esdras also proves that the Edomites of Esau's so-called white lineage have not been done away with, due to the fact that this is a future prophecy waiting to happen. Israelites consisting of so-called Negro, Latino, Taino, and Native American Indian ancestry shall rule the earth in absolute righteousness, and they shall also venture into outer space to colonize the other worlds, the mansions. The other planets are the mansions. The best is yet to come for the nation of Israel, but first Israel shall go through great tribulation. Great tribulation, then the CHIP of Revelation 13 and 16, do not put that on. You shall be destroyed if you do so. And those that put it on shall get the grievous sore of cancer. That's it says in Revelation 16 and 2. And then once that CHIP is implemented, then that third world war cometh quickly, and it shall be nuclear. So with that being said, Kalalau Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rahak Wadash, and double honors to the elders of GMS Ruwell, blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing this word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel, Brakta. And to the Akwath who also listen, Brakta as well, Shalom.